Hi everyone. Some time ago I did a video on how you can design your photo book. Now I think a lot of you raised some questions, and so I have to do the video again and show you how you'll be able to do some of the questions you guys raised. I think let's see. You didn't mention how to save the photo book after designing. Please, how will I save or export the pictures out? Okay, so there are quite some few questions here that I'll be answering. So today we'll redesign, and then I'll show you how you can save the book. Okay, now the last time we used what we call smart album. Okay, now you can go in and pay for this, or if you want to use the Jack Sparrow version, I think I should have that in the link. Okay, so you can go and look for smart album. Yeah, let's check how much it costs. Pricing. Okay, so this is quite high. if you, if you don't have the money, it's difficult. So those of you who want to use the Jack Sparrow version, you can go to this site, get into PC. Yeah, then you can look for it and download it. Just look for the instruction on how you can download it. Yeah, there is it over here. Okay, so I may leave the link in the description. Sometimes I may not, because of I know they are also trying to make money. Okay, so just go to your getintopc.com and then you can do that. Now let me go to my software. When you open it, this is what I've done some books already, so you see then save here. So what I'm going to do is to go to new. What size am I using? I'm going to do 28, which is the spread, by 10, which is the height. Okay, I'm going to explain, because when you open it up as a book, it should be, the spread should be 28 and then the height should be 10. Now you can also bring in the trim and then the save zone. What this is going to help you do is that when they are cutting the book, you have some margin at all the sizes, the side. Okay, so you have the left and right, you have top, bottom, and then the inside. So sometimes I put in my value. This is in inches, so I can decide that, oh, I want this in pixel or centimeters. Then I can put in the value I want. But if you know how to use the inches, that's fine. So I will not use this today. I'm starting with a full spread and then ends with a full spread. So this is it. So this is the size I'm doing. DPI is 300 and then the unit. So I'll go to next. Now the gap between images, I sometimes use some value for it, or I can even still go back and use the pixel and put in. So I'm going to use just 3 for the trim, so that it will give some white space at the top for the trimming. Now the gap between images, now when you do your design, you see the space in between. I can put one there. Most of the times I don't probably even leave a space, so but I can put 1 or 2. Let me put 2 there, and then you can set the background color, the default one. Okay, and I like white, or let me just go in and use black. Okay, sometimes I like black throughout. Border around images, I don't want any border around the images. Or if you want white border, you can go in and select the color that you want. Okay, thin, you want a thin one. Yeah, I won't do that for now. Then you can click on start and then you name your project. So I'm going to name this Photobook tutorials. Then I save it in my document or anywhere you want to save it, then it will open. Now when it opens, this is what the interface is going to look like. You have where the photo book is, and then you have where the picture is. Now you can create bins. So for example, if I have wedding, engagement, and maybe pre-shoot, I can name them. So it's going to create different bins for me. He has a folder that you can load your pictures into it. Now the pictures I'm going to use, let me see. I have some wedding I did recently. I have some of the pictures here. So these not all the pictures probably I will use. If I'm doing a photo book of that size, I may be using 200 to 250. Now if the pictures is too many, you see that you you have to use a lot of the pictures on the page. It doesn't make the design look nice. In where I am in Ghana, the maximum number of pages that they'll print for you is 25. If you want additional, you pay for it. Now there are sizes to each of the photo books. Okay, so you have to contact your local printer to know the sizes that they have available. Now you can see the size I have here is, so we use, now I changed the inches to pixel, so that's why you're seeing it this way. But I mean, if you are using inches, you see that it's 28. That's the whole area, and the height is 10. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I can just go to import pictures, go and look for my pictures, or when you have the folder open, you select all the pictures and then load them there, and then you wait for it to load. Okay, so I have all the pictures loaded here. I have all the pictures loaded here. Then I will now start my design. From the previous video, if you've watched that video, you see how easy it was for us to do this. Now I'm going to make use of I'm going to use these accessories. I don't want to bring in any other picture, but I want to use only accessories. So look how nice it has come. If you don't like this, you go in to change your template that is available there, but I think this is pretty good. Sometimes what I do is I will push this up to this and then have some writing here. Okay, so I will write something about love, I will write something about them, and then I'll put it here. So yeah, so you have this as the first page. The second page, I'm now going to load the groom. Okay, now this you can, yeah, now I can see the groom picture is quite a lot, so let me take some out, do only 4 and see how it turns out. Now you have to be playing around it and see which one best work for you. Okay, so I can leave it this way. Now what happened if I want to, for example, the first page we did, you remember what I did here, I didn't show you, is to double click on it on the page, and then it will allow me to work on the individual picture. So I can decide to push this down, do anything. Okay, now remember we didn't add any white, the border we wanted to add, so you can come back and add your border and the color of the border and all of that here. Okay, you can do opacity, see the opacity, you can angle it, see the angle. Yeah, this is also not bad. The scale, you can zoom in. So that is if you double click, you can go and do that. Now the gap between the pictures, you see that I can close it up. So that's why sometimes I leave it when I'm doing the project. I leave it so that when I come here, I can decide what I want to do. Then you go back, then you have your work this way. Now the same can be done here. If I want to enlarge these pictures, I just select. So what you do is that you double click inside the workspace and then you can expand it. It's not compulsory that you have to fill the whole thing. I'm just, because I'm showing you something, that's why I'm using it. But you can also leave space like how we leave the space here. The photo book just have to be nice. Okay, so I have only 2 of his pictures here. So this I'm doing it. You see that this has taken a larger portion. You can go to the top here where you see the 4 square and choose the templates that are there. Okay, but I think I like this. I will probably expand this a little. Now if I want to move, you can come in and you see the picture. So once you select the picture, you see it to work on it over here. You can look at the scale, you can look at the angle, the opacity. Okay, then border. So if you want to give it a border, there is a white border showing there. Remember we selected white when we were doing the project. Then so I'm now coming to this. Yeah, So once you load, you can go in and check if the template worked for you. If it doesn't, you have to change it. Let me add this to it. It's going to be a lot, but let me just use it. Okay, so I can double click here and then select the whole thing, expand it. Now remember, this picture is not full. If you want it full, you can do it full by, yeah, something like this. I push this in, then I will expand these ones because they are already like a portrait kind of picture. Okay, I can scale in a little. Now I can't really tell you how many pictures are supposed to go on the page. There are times we put even 12. This is how many. If you click down, you'll be able to. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 pictures. I can do 12 when I get to pictures that are not important like that. But these particular pictures have the dress up. Okay, so I normally, with the couple and the groom, I normally project the pictures bigger. You can do any kind of design you want. I pick this, I drop them. Now, how do I select? How do I select all this range? So you select the first one, then you press Shift on the keyboard. I think the Mac people press Shift. I think it's the same Shift on Mac. You select that range and then you drop it. You see, it's arranged it. I like this arrangement a lot. Now remember, you as a photographer, you have to take pictures, both landscape, or else this is what's going to happen to you if you don't have landscape in it. You just have something pretty straightforward. So let me bring in this. I can double click to expand it. It's not compulsory, but I want this to actually fill in the whole page. Okay, so yeah, when it comes to the church service, I add more pictures than necessary. See, these ones are smaller here and the couple is bigger here. Then group pictures. When I bring only these 4 pictures, there may be issues. So let me delete it and you see this is how it's going to look like. See, so there may be more space. So probably I will look for about 6 of that kind of pictures. But since I'm not getting it, let me just add this to it to fill in. It still probably doesn't work. Okay, this is okay. Now, how do I change the black color? So when I select, you can select the top of your spread and then you come here and change the color. So probably I know the color of the bride and groom. I may change that color. Okay. Now let me go in. So I'm going to pick I'm picking only this. Now this is the decor setup for the wedding. I want to make one of these pictures the background. Okay, so I can right click and say make spread. So see what happens. I double click and I expand this particular one. So you are the designer, you should just decide what you want to do. What I'm doing is just to show you how it works. Okay, so I've used one of the pictures as the spread here, as the background here. Let me delete one so Okay, so I can leave this space to do a write up here. Let me take, okay, so look at this. I'm picking this. So yeah, it's very important. You don't have to always take all the pictures to be portrait. At least bring in some landscape in it, or this is what you'll be getting. You can go in to check the other options that are available. Yeah, I may go for this. This is nice. More space around. I want the space at the top to be same as the size, so I double click to do that. Remember we talked about the border. If you want the border, you can increase the border and to give you a white border. So I can decide that I want border for these pictures. Yeah, this is also nice. I don't have to say that I want to fill the whole space. Even though you have some clients who probably complain, yeah, you can. I'm going to repeat a picture to show that it can actually take the full page, something like this. I can also just have two pictures on the page, which I normally do for the bride and the groom, because I mostly project more of the picture. I can even just put one picture that I think this is a large picture. You can see it's showing like it's pixelated, but once you export, it should come. Yeah, it's not every picture I also input there that I use. I just look at pictures that I think I have to use. Okay, so you have to know the size of your book. You have to know how many pictures you want to bring in, the pictures you promise your client. You don't have to load a lot of pictures into it. Okay, but when it comes to the event itself, I sometimes put in a lot. I can put like 12 pictures on a spread, because those ones, when you open, you still see them. So this is it. This is what I'm having now. Now, some of you were asking about the cover. Okay, now for cover, I look for the pictures I want to use for my cover. I probably have the pictures already. Then I will use that. I will probably use front and back or anything. So let me put this picture here. Now remember that your cover is going to be landscape. So normally I always ask my photographers to do few landscape pictures for me. If you don't have landscape, then you have to just expand it the way I'm doing. Okay, now I also sometimes going to use Canva. Those of you use Canva, or those of you who do design in Photoshop, you can do your own cover design. Okay, at the back I sometimes don't put anything there, but let me see, let me put this here. Yeah, so this will be my cover, but this is not all. I'm going to show you how I actually do my cover, because the printers will find it difficult to fit this in sometimes, so I'll have to do the cover and send it to them. If I don't like the picture I have there, I can change it anytime. Trying to see if I can see. Okay, so let me exchange the picture. Actually, the back, this is the back, then this is the front. Okay, the back I can decide to even leave it. Okay, now if I go to my Canva software, let me go to some of my template I have created a template that sometimes I use. So look at this cover. Yeah, so I mean, I just go to Photobook, Photobook cover. and I get some few ideas. That is Canva. I'm paying for it, so I get some templates that I can use. Okay, so I can come into use those ones. Yeah, you see how nice this one is. So since I have the picture, I can just input here and then export it. Yeah, so that is it. Now somebody asked a question, how when you finish. Now the most important thing is when you finish, you have to go through all the pictures, make sure this is what you want. Okay, where you want to change background, you double click on the spread, and then you can change the color of the background. Okay, so if you are very sure this is what you want, remember we didn't do the writing here, but you can do it anytime. The first page, you can write some nice story about them. Okay, now when you are done, you want to export this. You can export it as PDF or JPEG. So what you do is that you go to File, Export. So they are saying that there are some images that are not that contain upscale images. So I normally just ignore. Then I export for print. Now the reason why you do for print is that you want to be able to export all of them at once and have the quality. So you have JPEG, you have PDF, and all of that. You can even export for PSD. Okay. So I'm going to choose a folder and name it. Okay, so this is Samuel and Eunice. Then yeah, this is fine. Then I export. Now where I print my photo book, they have given, so my cover size should be somewhere, let me see, this is the box, the size of the box. So I'm trying to look for the sizes that I have, and that's what I normally use. So this is the box cover. Okay, so let me open one of these. I use 1028. Okay, so this is it. This is the size I use. So normally my photo books, even though there are other sizes they do, I have that. I should have that saved in one of my cloud. Yeah, but I normally use the 820 and then the 1028. That's what I normally give my clients. So look at how I did this cover. It's just bringing in the other one. You can see this one for the front and the back. I did it separately because I did it from Canva. Now if it is done exporting, it will open the folder for you, so you can actually go through and know what you have done. Okay, so this is what I'm using as a cover, right? I'm going to open the Photoshop and put it there. And make sure these are the middle. You expand it a little, don't worry about. You can see I put a white around it, so it will fit in. Okay, so you have this. I can put my contact number here. Normally I use QR code and I put it here. You can change this picture if you don't want to use that picture. You look for a picture you want to use and then you can just change it. But remember, I am using Canva. I pay for Canva, so I get to have a lot of this. I can just load the pictures in here and then do my design, export it, and then bring it here. Okay, so the book is finished exporting, as we have seen it. I have done the cover. Now I can write the name here. So if I go to Photoshop, Samuel and Eunice, and a lot of people also want you to put their date. It's very important. I will probably look for some stylish font to use. Okay, I can give it a background, or I can just make it white. I put a little shadow in it. Then I can write my date. So 2000, let me do it 3. This will be any regular font. If you think this is not clear enough, you can change the color, or you can actually even give it a little background. So sometimes I will go in for a rectangle and draw and reduce the opacity. Now this is for those who do graphic design. So you have this. Okay, let me go back. So I have quite a number of photo books here. This is my box. They put it in a box, so I normally also design. I have the size for the box, and then the cover for this one. So see how I've done this design. So you can see that when the event is going on, I kind of add more pictures, but when it comes to the exclusive, it's less. Okay, so I think what I would do is to put the sizes, the cover sizes in the link. You can go in and download it, but you have to practice. You have to know how to do design, and once you know how to do your own photo book, the printers will not waste your time. Okay, sometimes when you send it for them to do it, they will have a lot of people in the queue, so they waste a lot of time to get you your files. But if you know how to do it yourself, you'll be able to do it. Let me see if I've been able to answer all the questions. How can I get a software? As I mentioned, you can go in. I think I even put it on my link here. I'll also leave my WhatsApp number. If you're having any challenge, just WhatsApp me. I'll be able to help you. Somebody is really helped me a lot getting to design photo. Please help me more by making a video on how to create the cover. Okay, so I think I have done a little bit on the cover, and then I also did something on the exporting. Yeah, so when you finish, just save your work so that if you have any issue, you can come back and correct it. But this is how simple it is. Within 30 minutes, you should be able to design a whole book. Okay, it doesn't take that much time. Now, if you pay for the software monthly, where is it? Yeah, this 240 per year. That's quite huge. If you pay for it, I know you can load the pictures and it will do automatic. You can do automatic. How do you call it? Automatic photo book. So you put in the pictures and it automatically arrange them for you. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section, and please subscribe to the channel. I'll bring you more tutorials on the other things I do. Thank you.